Hey everybody, how's it going? Servant on my K, the Dean of Averages, coming to you today for another episode of World of Warships for Beginners. In this episode, we are going to review Season 9 of Ranked. There you go. Right now, boys. All right, so 447 games that it took me to rank out, a little bit longer than I had wanted to or anticipated that I would rank out. But hey, we got finished. It was the second longest season that it took me. The first being the season 5, I believe, where the last tier 7 ranked season absolutely destroyed my morale and absolutely destroyed my mentality for this game at tier 7. I just don't enjoy tier 7 as a destroyer. And I think I carried that over into this season because of the cruisers being very strong at tier 7 and the cruisers being very strong at tier 10. It makes it very hard life for a destroyer. Now everybody out there knows that I do like to play destroyers in ranked season. A lot of people are like, hey, you're a battleship guy, why are you playing DD? And it's like, because I can have more control over a game if I'm playing a destroyer. I can go cap if I need to. I can do this if I need to. I can put this over here on this flank if I need to. There's a whole slew of reasons. Overall, so let's go look into my predictions from the season. How did they do? Starting with battleships. Montana, saw a lot of those. It was my best battleship of the season. Republic, oh my God, this thing came out of nowhere. I was not even expecting the Republic to do anything. People were going to be like, oh, I totally got 2 guns. This thing absolutely turded on all the cruisers. It was absolutely fantastic to see, and it also gave the Yamato a run for its money. Speaking of that, Yamato got more play than I thought it was going to be. People putting themselves in good positions around the map to let the game develop in front of them instead of them having to go to the game, if that makes sense for you. As for the GK, it was still terrible. I only saw a few people playing the GK correctly. It was absolutely garbage for most of the season. Still just, all it was just a sponge of damage. When I was playing Montana, I was like, hey, look, a GK, cool. I'm going to get some free damage. That's my opinion on that. Conqueror did see a lot of those. I played it myself, save a star. It was really hard sometimes at some points to actually play that boat. But overall, it was an okay choice, I guess. It wasn't effective too much, but it was pretty good. Moving into destroyers, I played the Z-52. I played that one most off. I was most comfortable with that boat because it plays like the Lo Yang from last season, give or take. It was similar enough to where I didn't take me too many games to pick up on my proper play, if that makes sense. I think I played 150 games or something like that in that, and we finally ranked out. Yu Yang. Was kind of surprised with the Yu Yang. I did not know that it was that strong. I mean, I would go head-to-head with this thing, and it would eat me up as a Z-52, as a gearing. I don't have a Yu Yang yet, but I know I will be getting it eventually. Was real surprised with that. Saw a smattering of lots of gearings out there, which I figured we would see. They did fine. Shimakazis, if they were played correctly, could be very devastating, but most of the time, I don't know. The ones that I got most frustrated with was they wouldn't even attempt to go cap a wide open cap. They would just stay at 18, or they would stay at 8-9 kilometers off somebody and try to drop torps at them. Would never even challenge a cap. Didn't even want to take any damage. Didn't want to help their fellow DDs caps. Whatever. A couple of kebabs. Saw some really good kebab play. And everybody knows I'm talking about the Kebab Rus, Russian Tier 10 gunboat. Toward the end of the season, I saw a lot of people playing Kebab effectively. Toward the beginning of the season, Kebabs were just getting pooped on, and everybody was... They were legitly throwing bad player report. They were reporting these people for playing Kebab in ranked, and I was like, Well, let's wait and see how they play it first before they start reporting them. And, well, most of them deserve to be reported. But that's besides the point. Toward the end of the season, it got a little bit better for K-Bob. So a lot of different people were playing them to veritable successes. What's left? Cruisers. Lots of demonies. Oh, my God, was there a lot of demonies out there. Toward the end of the season, I saw a lot of Moskvas coming out. But for the most part, it was a Zhao heavy. It was a Hindenburg. Oh my God, there was a Hindenburg in every game I think this season. The one game that I thought I didn't see a Hindenburg, there was a Henry. Henry was a good choice if you had to play it correctly, though. It was all on the flank most of the time. So yeah, Hindenburg number 1, Demonies number 2, Radar Minotaur, something that I actually dipped into. That was once you figured out the right way to play it and you were all over those destroyers early, you could win the games very quickly. And it was just a matter of you staying alive toward the end. So, all right. So, my biggest complaint, social commentary time. Damage farmers. I get a lot of people come into the channel over on twitch.tv/servantofmyk, and they're like, "Oh man, I just play the Hindenburg, man. You're struggling, man. Play the Hindenburg." I'm like, I don't want to play the Hindenburg because it's a boring play style for me. I don't enjoy sitting at 18 kilometers, 20 kilometers, and slinging HE the entire game. It gets very old, very, very fast. And they're like, "What's what you got to do to save your star?" I was like, why do I want to save my star when I could play a destroyer and actively affect the game to win the game so I can gain stars instead of save my star and then bitch at the rest of my team for them not pulling me along? This is the kind of mentality that I felt coming from these super unicorn guys that were in the 1 to 5 bracket within the first week, and they were ranking out within the first 2 weeks. So once those people, super unicorn purpley guys, left the queue, the games got better. I honestly think the games got better. I don't play that play style, right? So it's an unfamiliar play style for me, so I struggled. And I'll admit, I struggled. It's not their fault. I could have played something totally different. I could have been passive as hell. I could have just sat there doing circles in the B cap like I did 30 games this season, doing absolutely nothing for the fucking team except doing circles. I couldn't push in because there was too much radar. They weren't pushing in, so I couldn't push in. I could drop torps. Maybe I would hit one, maybe I wouldn't. Torps are not guaranteed unless you're like right there, and even then, hell, half the time they drop off the other side of your boat when you don't even need them to. So there's no guarantee that you're going to get any damage as a destroyer. So it was a very risky choice for me to go into destroyer gameplay for this ranked season. Now, once the passive mentality got out of the queue, the games for me picked up. I was able to control the game a little bit better. I was able to actually have some fun. And toward the last 4 days before I ranked out, I was having a lot more fun playing the game and enjoying the ranked season. So, when I keep telling everybody, go ahead and play as much as you can, as early, as often as you can, to get playing with some of these better players, forget about it during Tier 10. So, I know a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys are my friends. So, to this, I just want to say, Purple Unicorn guys, yeah, maybe y'all think about rethinking how this game is to be played. You guys influence a lot of people with your competitive play or your Clan Wars play. It's very slow-paced. It's very off-putting for me. I don't like the slow-paced games. I don't particularly care for Tier 10 gameplay because of that factor. 18, 20 kilometers, I got 130,000 damage. Okay, we lost. Why'd you lose? Well, I was sitting at 18 kilometers all the time, and it's your fault that we lost because you didn't go cap. Well, I was begging you to. I was pinging the map. Hey, can you move forward, please, so I can attempt to contest this cap? Nope, I gotta stay at 18 kilometers and keep my damage. It's not my job. You're the DD. You go cap. Now, that's not to be said that it's not any of my fault. It is a lot of my fault. My gameplay I can only control for myself. I made a lot of mistakes this season. I made a lot of mistakes. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they need to listen to me because I'm the end all be all. I'm not. I'm just an average guy. I'm just an average player that's a little bit better, than the guys that are below average, and that's about it. It's just a commentary on the way the state of the game is right now. And that was really disappointing and disheartening for somebody like me, who's not the best, who is not in the top echelon, who is not a purple player, to sit there and be like, okay, cool, boom. And then some of these guys that you have a lot of respect for, or some of these guys that you play with, they are playing the most passive game that you have ever seen, making it not enjoyable for you as well. So pick up the pace, boys. My Lord, was it a slow season. All right. So once those guys got out of their queue and they did whatever they would do to rank out, the games picked up. After the Super Purple Unicorn guys were gone, the second tier, third tier players like myself took over the rank 5-1 bracket, and we were absolutely dominating. The last 4 days I played, I went plus 13, plus 7, plus 1, plus 7, and out. That's it. Because those guys were gone. It was a different gameplay. It was a different mentality between the teams. The teams it was more fun for me to have a team that was willing to move early, was willing to take caps early. You don't have to. I understand all you have to do is have 2 caps and then defend. I get it. I understand that. But it was a lot more fun to have people willing to break from the meta. Like myself, it took me a long time to get my head out of the meta. Let's go attack this cap. Let's take 3 guys and let's go attack this cap. So this tier 10 season, it's a cruiser heavy season. Didn't see a whole lot of destroyer play. I didn't really enjoy it because of that reason right there. I was not able to be as effective just based on solely of that radar. So I had to slow down and I had to back up. So it wasn't as fun until everybody was gone. And then it got fun again. I don't know what else it is. That's it. I love you guys. Rank season, my black season, I'm happy about it. I love you. We'll see y'all next time. Serving on my K out, boys.
Hey, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Daddy needs that YouTube money.